Rob and Slim, James Quinn.
Guys, what's happening?
Yeah. What's going on, James? Sorry, wrong character.
What's up, dude?
How are you? Good to hear you guys.
Good. Great to hear you again. Actor from Pittsburgh. What's going on, dude?
Just running crazy, buddy. Keeping busy on all fronts, and I know you guys are too. I've been following the show pretty close here, and it's nice to see everything really kicking ass lately. So congrats to you guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Your new movie, your new film, Sandman.
Yes. Yeah, that's been keeping me the busiest. We're on post-production now, so, that's a little bit easier, but not. So we're basically getting everything out for the film festivals, getting ready to do a premiere here locally, and see how everything takes at the festivals, and then, to chase that awesome distribution deal that we know we're going to get.
Nice, dude. Nice. I know it's about an ex-boxing champ who is struggling to save his family's home, and he has to get back into boxing. Like,
it is, yeah. It's, so many different boxing films have been done, and there's a lot of similarities, comparisons, obviously Rocky being the platform.
Yeah.
So there's always that boxer down on his luck. So, yeah, we did go that way, but we also added an element to this film. What we don't always say in a description, there's kind of like a supernatural element to this, which I've never seen in a boxing film before. And this is like, it's a whole different take to where we don't know if the guy's crazy, if it's in his mind, or if he actually does have the supernatural entity, but when he goes into the ring, Grady Sanders becomes a Sandman. So there's this entity that takes over his body when he's in the ring, and it's a badass animal.
Cool.
And so so basically this entity left him, several years earlier when he had lost his middleweight championship of the world, and now it's back, and now he's back, and so they have one shot to save the house, and they're going to have to do it together. So it's going to get real interesting real quick.
Cool.
Awesome. That sounds really cool.
It does.
I'm gonna derail it though, because just the concept of how Rob just described it, where so there's this guy that used to be a boxer, he doesn't box anymore, and then now he's going back to boxing again. And I was hanging out with one of my buddies a couple weeks ago who was this is silly, and it's not comparable at all, but he was he was really, really good at Halo, and he stopped playing Halo for like a year, and he was telling me how he can't play Halo anymore because of where he's ranked in Halo. He only gets compared with the competitive people, so he just loses right away. So I was thinking, even in something like fighting or boxing, it's got to be really, really hard, and there's got to be a lot of anxiety going back into something after you've been out for a few years, because you can't compete with the guys that have been doing it every day.
I had friends who struggled with that. I remember one of my buddies, Larry, he got injured, and his wife wanted him to quit so bad, but he couldn't.
Yeah, it's like one of them things you have to do it all the time, just like any other sport. If you're playing hockey or baseball, and if your timing's not there, and for me, this was like real life situation, because I used to box. That's something that not everybody knows about.
I was gonna ask.
In the late '90s, I was an amateur fighter, so here I've been away from the ring for several years. So me getting my ass back in that kind of shape was that challenge that he was just talking about. Exactly. And so it does take a while to get that timing back, and to try to pretend like you can still do this, But I got to remember real fast where it all came from. So
I was going to ask if you trained
again and making it happen.
If you had previous training, or if you trained for the movie to fight.
Yeah, well, I trained for almost 6 years when I was in the amateurs, years back. So that's something that I still do on my own, periodically in life. But to get in that kind of shape, I actually went to a local gym, got with a professional fighter, Jose Carabello, who is a pro in the Pittsburgh area. He was in the movie Southpaw. He and I got together to work on this film. He's actually the fighter you see fight me at the beginning of the film. So I had to go and try to keep up with his ass, for multiple days in order to get myself into the shape that I needed to be in. And we had to take those real shots in order to make that happen. But I'm so glad I did, because I got to see that, I can still do that when I need to. I just don't want to have to all the time.
Cool.
So
I'm curious.
It was fun to get to go back in time.
Do you think that if you ever decided to start getting into boxing seriously again, do you think you will ever be able to get back to the point you were when you last left?
I don't know. It's hard to say, because it was a long time ago. I'm going to say I'd love to say yeah, but like, I mean, that would just be the arrogance of me taking over. I mean, I don't know that I could ever get back to where I was.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to go back one more time, just because I just got to do this recently, and I got to push myself to a level that I didn't even know I could go again. So I'd love to do it one more time, just to say, hey, I did it again.
That's cool. That's super cool. I was gonna ask too if like in any of the scenes, like I know like it's acting, but like, did anybody really get hurt? Or did any, was there any time you actually, like, felt a hit?
Yeah, I mean, nobody got seriously injured, thank God. But, yeah, there was times I felt quite a few hits. I mean, we had a few slip in there that, we weren't going as hard as naturally either of us could. But by the same token, we didn't want to cheese it up. So we didn't want to, insult the crowd. So we were going for it. And
yeah.
There were times, I took a couple good rib shots, took one across the nose, one across the eye. So, and we had the welts to prove it, And so, but I mean, it just keeps you awake. It keeps you alive in the moment. Remember, you're there. You're remembering why you're doing it.
Yeah. Crazy.
So those are bumps I'm willing to take all the time.
Cool.
So our local.
Yeah, I saw too. You wrote it too, right, James?
Yeah, I did actually. Yes, I did.
But didn't direct. You didn't direct it?
No, I didn't direct it. Simon Baracchini directed that. He's our director in Pittsburgh. He directs a lot of the films that we've done, and he has a really good eye for everything. He's also our director of photography on this. So
cool.
Yeah, he did a really great job on that. I think just writing, producing, and lead acting was more than enough for me on this. I didn't want to have to take on any extra duties.
I was going to ask.
Luckily for me, he's as good as he is. I'm sorry?
I was going to ask if there was any like time you guys didn't see eye to eye, like it was in your head a certain way that like it wasn't playing out like on screen. Like does that come into it at all, or does he pretty much see eye to eye with you?
It's funny you say that, because like a lot of films that does happen where writers and directors can tend to bump heads and not see things the right way. With this particular film, everything fell into place right, and I can't always say that. It's very rarely that I can say that, but
yeah,
he and I sat down and we talked about this film from the start, and what we saw, and I trusted him and he trusted me, and he knew the script, and some of the actual events in this story actually took place in my own real life, so he knew what it meant to me in order to bring this piece to life. And so, we were right on the same page the whole time, and I'm proud of him for helping me to bring that vision to life and helping me kind of travel back through time and relive this.
That's cool.
Well, mine is the supernatural element, of course, and I was never the middleweight champion, but there were some things in here that took place that I actually went through.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Do you wish that a supernatural being possessed your body while you fought?
Yeah, I think it would help my conditioning a lot more.
Make things a lot easier.
I'd have him go ahead and do all the training, and I'll just go take the glory.
Yeah. Now I can shoot fireballs. It's cool.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So we didn't want to overcheat it, but you got that like demonic voices. At one point his eyes will turn black, and it's just kind of a little scary moment when that happens, because up until then people are like, "Wait, what's happening here?"
I think that happens in just anybody, like seeing red or seeing just blacking out type of thing.
I was going to say, I remember my stepbrother when we were kids, he would get in a lot of fights and he would tell me, like, I black out and I don't remember any of it.
And then I had it when I got older, and I'm like, yeah, he was right. He was fucking right. You black the fuck out, man. Like, it's crazy.
You hit it right on the head. That's why we went with black instead of, everybody uses red all the time, but black is just like you black out and you go for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying your character's eyes turn black.
Or does the screen turn black?
See, now that could be left up to perception, but I mean, what you will see is it looks like, and I've had some of the pictures out online about it, like they will turn black on occasion when the Sandman takes over.
Cool. So I love it. I love it.
We were like, but here's the weird thing about it is like it's not always explained in the story, but only his wife and his trainer actually know that the Sandman is this real entity. The rest of the fans, they just think this is the fighter, man. He's just that badass, and that's why he's been nicknamed the Sandman. He puts them to sleep, you know what I mean? And so they don't know there's this entity, so there's that whole other story taking place there.
The reason his wife knows is because when the Sandman takes him over, he goes, "It's time to box," and they're like, he'll never really say anything like that.
But we're saving that for the comedic version.
It's time to box.
Don't let Slim write any of your Any of your
Yeah, let me
scenes,
write the
James.
sequel. Well, let me write the third one because
Gotta
once
write
you
the bad third.
yeah, you have to have like 2 good ones, and then just let me write the third one. So you gotta kind of
I think
stay
that
tradition.
went to a whole new level, but I like where you're at with it.
Yeah,
The Sandman cometh.
The Sandman
That's what
cometh.
Slim's gonna write. That's what Slim's gonna write.
CUM, right? CUM. Yeah.
Yes.
And after he
CUM.
after he knocks the guy out, he's gonna go, "You just been sandbagged."
Oh no. You don't want it to go that far, James.
We'll see. Hey, maybe you never know. Everybody's tastes are changing, and it definitely is a comedic point of view that I'm interested in.
James, how did Looney Bin do?
It was on hold for a little bit. It's funny you asked. We did, like, when I had talked to you guys last, the teaser was out, and
Yeah.
we had come into some other areas to where it was a lot easier to move on some other films, such as Sandman. We did a Witches and Demons film, Called Upon. And so we put it on hold up until right now, and we're actually getting ready to head back into production with that here in the next couple months. So we are going to do that feature version finally. We would have thought that would have been done a year and a half ago, but that's the nature of this business. Sometimes you can't do them right away, and you have to wait for locations to open up and actors to free up that you want to use. And,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it had come out yet.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. I'm glad you guys asked, though, because that's our next move, and that's the next thing that we're getting into.
Cool, dude. Cool. That's cool to hear too. Something that got put on hold is being released. That's really awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, because you like to finish what you start, and a lot of times these projects don't get finished. You get to start them and nothing happens. We love finishing what we start, even if it takes a year or two to come back sometimes.
Who
We got so pumped to do Sandman and a few other things that it worked out really good for us. I'm sorry you were asking?
No, I was just gonna ask who are some of the other actors and actresses in the Sandman?
In Sandman, we have, I'd mentioned Jose Carabello, who is a professional fighter out of Pittsburgh. And if you have seen the movie Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, he plays Jake Gyllenhaal's trainer, Ellie.
I've heard of that.
He's the guy that trains Gyllenhaal at the beginning of the film.
Wow, that's pretty
in there.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah, we have a wonderful actress, Jillian O'Neill, who's been all over the place for years, L.A., Pittsburgh, New York. She plays my wife, Paige.
Cool.
Dave Patai, martial artist / actor in Pittsburgh, who plays Ralph the mob boss. And these are guys that have been around the block, so everybody came in and just really delivered for us. We had a lot of great people start to finish. We used real fighters for all the fight sequences. Another actor that's up and coming here is a really good fighter in Pittsburgh, Eddie Holliday's in this film. You'll see him at the end. He's the guy I face off with. And so, yeah, there was a lot of great people that we got to work with just in our area alone, and just to be able to utilize all that talent. And wanting to bring that to life by using actual fighters and then people that could act too, just combining those two really made for an authentic look that we really wanted to show.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it would be a amazing mixture.
It was, man. And we were actually, you always have high expectations for a project, but sometimes you don't get, the sell-off you want when you put it out there. But when we put the trailer out this time, it went insane. Like, we had over 3,000 views the first night, and I couldn't even. I would have been happy with 1,000.
Yeah.
With 500 that night, and it's just trickled from there between Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and so everybody's been really, really accepting of it and really excited to see it. And I think anytime you put a fighting film out there with a fresh feel, people, for some reason or another, they lose their shit, man. They really seem to enjoy it.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Is it hard to put a fighting film out with a fresh film with so many so many Rockies out there?
Because what's really fresh, right? And that's why we were like, we can get a lot of backlash for doing this fighter down on his luck thing again, but now we're going to play this supernatural element. And anybody I've talked to, I've never seen a supernatural element in a boxing film. It could be out there.
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen it, so we thought, well, this is fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds
agree.
really interesting.
It does
sound
super
awesome.
cool. Super cool.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're excited about it, and so we really hope that it takes well with people, and we hope we do good at the festivals, and that's our next move.
I hope if it does really well, if it does really well, they'll release a video game version of it too.
That would be
like
cool,
a cool video
dude.
game.
I would fucking.
That would be sweet.
I would.
That would be sweet.
Yes.
I've been receiving a lot of animated art, like along them lines, people asking us maybe an app or figures and things like that.
I was gonna say,
things I never
too.
even think of on my own.
It would sound like it would be a great anime. Like there's so many anime is it sounds like it would really do well. Like as that.
It's cool.
I think it would, man. I think people will dig it, and like even down to like the artwork that we used in the film, and like the tattoos. I went with the old. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the old English lettering. Like we put Sandman across my chest in that style because it seemed like it would be like a demonic type look.
I saw that.
I saw the picture.
I was
too.
gonna
Yeah,
ask
really
if that
awesome.
was like a real tattoo you got, or if it was just done for the movie.
I wish. I kind of want it now. It was a temporary tattoo that I just fell in love with, man. I was like, I felt like I was a whole different character with that. That was the missing piece to me in the Sandman in the film. I had to have that.
I really enjoyed
just
seeing
once
that.
I had that on, I was really in character.
So now I'm curious. You said that the name Sandman came about because the fans call him that because he knocks people out like right away. So he's the Sandman. Did you just think like right away you were like, I want a character named Sandman? Like, how did you really come up with the name Sandman?
Well, it was, initially, like, I didn't have the title of the film, and I'm like, what would be a really badass title for, a film that has a supernatural element? What would put people to sleep? And I'm like, what haven't I seen? Like, you see all these superhero films and that. And I haven't seen, like, I know it was done with Spider-Man. I think they brought the Sandman in, like, not too long back.
Yeah.
But, like, I haven't really seen a Sandman standalone type film, and, like, I'm like, you know what? This won't be the Sandman people were thinking of, but to equate that into a boxer.
That's cool.
Would be kind of cool. And
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it was like just kind of like put them to sleep, time to dream, you know what I mean? These are the taglines we came up with for the film. And, like, when we were writing it, we just thought, man, the Sandman would be kind of cool. So we come up with the character's name being Grady Sanders so that we could play off Sanders and Sandman. So the fans
Oh, I
would call it
love
Sandman.
that. That is my favorite kind of like naming, like when it plays into stuff like that. That's awesome.
I had that in the notes. I
Yeah, we were
just
trying to
love
think
the
of it.
name. Yeah.
Yep.
We thought it just felt right, We figured
Cool.
if we called a guy Grady Sanders, it's a kind of cool name, and then we can really sell the Sandman character. And so
Nice.
it's worked out really well. I mean, the reception that we've received has been, better than we could have ever hoped for. So we really appreciate that.
That's awesome. That is so cool. When will is it done filming, James?
It is. We're in, like I said, the post-production, and we're getting ready to submit for multiple festivals. A lot of them are toward the second half of the year, but we're trying to get ready. We'd like to get into a few earlier this year because we're just excited to see how it does now. Like, we don't want to, how you get that itch and you want to see now how people take to it. But you have to wait for the festivals to accept it, and it comes about, and then you go to them. And so some of them are in September, some are in July. But when they come, we'll be ready. The film is ready, it's done, and we're trying to get it on the. Right now, our team's coming together to try to figure out what are the best festivals for us to hit that we feel that we will place, decently in.
Yeah.
So we're attacking that as a team right now, and so not to mention we're already thinking of like different variations that we want to write for sequels and different things for the film down the road.
Well, yeah, and I got the third. I got the third one kind of like figured out and brewing in my mind too, because like what I was thinking, like in the third one is when he's gonna fight another guy that's also possessed by a demon.
Mr. T.
So like when the Sandman,
possessed by the big old
so when
blade.
the Sandman comes in, he's gonna be like, it's time to box, and the other demon's gonna be like, it's time to square. Right, like so it's kind of similar, but
We may have to add you to the art team here in our collaboration team. We may have to take things put together. I would love to do it. I hope it's that one independent that we get to do that has sequels to it.
that would be amazing.
James, what was the movie
That'd be awesome.
What was the movie you talked about? I think last time we talked to you, where you had an Irish accent.
Oh, Bystander. Yeah, that was a lot of fun for me. We talked about that. I finished that right when we talked last, and from what I just understood, I just talked to the production team on that last week, and I'm hearing that it should be ready to go in April. So we haven't even seen a trailer for it yet, so we're all still excited. It's just one of the deals where you walk away from it, and they've been taking their time to make it as perfect as they can. I'm sure it's going to look great, but we're excited to see it.
Cool.
So hopefully we'll be able to post something on that in the coming months, and you guys will be able to take a look at it too.
I would love
I'll
to.
make sure I didn't insult, the whole nation of Ireland with my accent. I'm hoping I did a good job of it. So.
James, can I ask you to do something for us, if you don't mind? A little favor.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
So what I've been putting in our shows, I do a break, and then after the break, we have a couple comedians that would do a segue that say you're listening to the Rob and Slim Show and stuff like that. So can you say for me right now, and you can do any variation you want, but I think it would be hilarious if you say this is James Quinn and you're listening to the Rob and Slim Show, and then if you're doing a real demonic voice, go, it's time to box.
You got it. You like the time to box or the time to drink?
Either one.
Time to dreams are our big tagline, but if you want box, that's what we'll give you, brother.
All right.
Tell me when.
Right now, go for it.
Hi, everyone. This is James Quinn, and you're listening to the Rob and Slim Show, and it's time to dream.
Awesome, man.
So good.
Thank you.
James. Thank you. I love it.
I like that. It's time to dream.
Yes.
We have too much fun. I think I'm still having too much fun with that.
Yeah, you should be. I love that you were having fun with it. Like, I feel like that's exactly what you should be doing.
I appreciate it. It is, man. It's not always you get to go and do a character or a story that you love so much and you just don't want to leave it, you know?
I felt that with you, though, every time we talk to you. You always feel what you're doing, and you always portray that when we talk to you.
I think so. I appreciate that. I think you have to. I mean, that's why we do this. And if you don't feel your character and you can't become it, you need to almost fall in love with your character to become it so that you can sell it to your audience.
Yeah, there's not many guests that we've had on this many times from that early on that we still just absolutely have a great time with every time, and you are one of them.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Now, I wanted to ask you guys, how many three-peaters have you had on the show? Because I've hit the three-peat now. I feel like it's something really cool with you guys.
As far as phoners go, not that many. And like I said, what were you going to say, Slim?
I was going to say most of the ones that we've had on, usually you only make it to 3 and then we burn the bridge.
That's what I was going to say. Sometimes there's only 3 and it's like we feel that's as far as it goes. But with you, yeah, man, definitely. Definitely gonna be a 4, Pete.
So I could actually potentially be the first 4, Pete, or the bridges burn, one of the two.
One or the other. Just don't if we ever.
Do a 4, it's like a monumental moment. I feel like I should come in studio live and we should drink beer and eat pancakes and shit.
Oh, absolutely!
I
love
it.
pancakes.
I would cherish that moment.
I'll give you a little tip, James. If we ever offer to have our intern name the next movie for you, just don't call us.
Just don't. Oh yeah. If we have an intern that has ideas for your next movie, don't just hang up on us or don't call us.
Hey, you never know that, man. Some of the best shit happens by accident. So I listen to those bad ideas because they sometimes turn out to be perfect.
You're the best, James. James, where can everybody find you?
You can find me all over the place on social media, especially Twitter. I love the Twitter. I love tweeting back. Twitter at the JQA, Instagram at the JQA, on Facebook at the JQA, and we have some on YouTube as well at the JQA. So we try to keep it simple. Everything is at the JQA.
Cool, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
No problem, dude. We will talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure being on the show. You guys have a great night.
Awesome.
You
Take
too,
care,
my
James.
man.
All right, guys. Later.
Later, James.